guys, my name is Brianna and this is my 35-week pregnancy update. I'm going to apologize up front. I feel awful today. I feel like I'm going to be really out of breath. It's probably going to be a little bit hard for me to get through this video. Baby girl is sitting so high and I do have confirmation. I have a whole doctor's appointment to fill you guys in on what happened at the ultrasound from last week. And it's good news, but she is definitely facing down. And I think this little girl between her feet, her butt, she has just been totally pummeling the inside of my rib cage. I really feel like from internally, it just feels like I have bruised ribs all around, and she's very, very high sitting, and I think it's also crushing my stomach a bit because it's really hard for me to eat very much right now without getting then really sick after I end up eating. So I'm just uber uncomfortable, really out of breath, and laying down doesn't even feel good because of the bruising. So even though I would honestly spend today just like sitting relaxing if I could, I've actually just been nesting, cleaning literally all morning, because anytime I sit or lay down, it's actually more painful to do that. So I have a huge nesting to-do list to tackle, so have just been tackling that today. Point being, sorry if I sound out of breath and sorry if I'm just a bit negative or whiny. It's been a tough week and it's an especially hard day. So every week I go through the same set of questions. I did this with my son and now I'm doing it with baby P. And the first question is, how far along are you? So I'm 35 weeks along. My app says she's the size of a pineapple, and because of the ultrasound that we just went to on Friday, we did learn a little bit more of her measurements. So lengthwise, she's actually on the smaller end. She's measuring in the 37th percentile. And the doctor shared with me my son, when I had a 37-week ultrasound with him, was in the 37th percentile as well. So lengthwise, when Landon was born, he was 18 inches. So he's approximating that this baby is likely going to be pretty close to the size of Landon if I go to my due date, because I had Landon on his actual due date. So she was measuring, I guess technically 37th percentile overall, but they took 3 measurements to sort of determine that. They measured her head, they measured her belly, and they measured her femur. And her femur was measuring in like the 33rd week. Right at the end of it, it was like 33 weeks and 6 days. But then her head and her belly were measuring 36 weeks and 5 days. So there has been a little bit of back and forth just on when my actual due date would be. My OB was trying to use ultrasounds in the beginning to figure it out because I had been nursing my son and had just stopped and my cycle was a bit off. And it was more me saying, I'm not sure, even though if you're gonna go by the date of my last menstrual period, I'm not sure then that the actual date we conceived is right, because I sort of knew when we did. So long story short, they're gonna put me at the later of the 2 due dates, which is only a 5-day difference anyways. But just for accuracy here, as we're, getting to the final months, if she were for some reason to not come on her own, just want kind of the right time of when an induction would have to be scheduled. So I'm actually happy we had the ultrasound. And the doctor right now put her at 5 pounds 5 ounces. And he also said to me, knowing my son's birth weight of 7 pounds 5 ounces, he was like, I think you'll likely have a baby right around the 7-pound mark, just like your son. So it was really good news. I was really stressed out. I was thanking the Lord just because, I'd experienced something similar, but with Landon, because we were farther along, it just felt better that like if we got the news he needed to come out, it would have been okay. And even though 35 weeks, many babies are born at 35 weeks and are perfectly healthy, fine, normal, I just know it's better for the baby to have more time to develop their lungs and other internal organs. So total weight gain, I actually did drop weight again at this appointment. I was 3 pounds lighter than I previously was, so my total weight gain is 20 pounds. So I just think, honestly, everything is really squished internally and really uncomfortable. And knowing the fact that she's totally healthy, growing fine, my doctor told me don't worry about it, but it's, you know, clearly it's really common, even the doctor said, in the last month or two of pregnancy to either not gain weight or lose a little bit of weight just because of how crunched your stomach and other internal organs are with how the baby might be sitting. And she is very, very high, so it's really, really hard for me. Even though I am hungry, it's just I have to have little snacks. I can't really have full meals. Maternity clothes goes without question at this point. I've worn this before, but it's just a good workout outfit to wear, especially since cleaning the house was a total workout these last 6 hours this morning. Stretch marks, I've been using my Palmer's cocoa butter like crazy to prevent them. I haven't noticed any yet. I did not have them with my son. We'll see though, because I just feel like she is sitting so differently that maybe it could cause them. And it's just feeling so painful right now. I just don't remember having this feeling with Landon at all. I felt like he was always a lot lower and just honestly wasn't as active as she is. Like she is, I think, a very active baby, so just probably doing a bit more damage to my internal organs when she's moving around there. Sleep. This is another reason I'm just miserable. Landon woke up literally every half hour last night. My husband and I tried to switch off as best as possible, but a lot of times Landon was calling for me, which just guilts me into being like, no, Adam, he's calling for me, I'll go get him. But he was up every half hour basically, so I got like the worst night's sleep ever. So that's why I look like a baggy circles under my eyes too. Let's make this positive though. Best moment this week. So if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you probably saw my husband and I had our baby moon date night kind of blended into the next day. So we went for Presley's ultrasound at the end of the day on Friday. And that was also like, again, even though we got really good news, it was really stressful because the appointment was at 2 and we didn't even get in to see the ultrasound technician until about 2:50. So literally almost an hour of being there. Already I was on pins and needles and stressed out about it, but it was like the waiting even longer was driving me crazy. So we got the good news of the ultrasound. After the ultrasound, him and I just had a little bit of work to wrap up. And then we went to a early movie. We saw Beauty and the Beast. And then we went downtown for an amazing steak dinner. And I actually totally stuffed myself and then paid for it. Like felt really sick afterwards. But it honestly was the best steak of my life. And these amazing donuts. They were like almost like a powdered sugar beignet with these different dipping sauces. It was so, so good. If you're from the Cleveland area, or I guess they have one they said in Miami, Florida too, but red, really, really good steak. We loved it. My grandma had kept Landon overnight, so the next morning, Adam and I actually did get to sleep in. Even though we left, we woke up still at like 8:30, so didn't even sleep in that long. But I said to him, I was like, I'm not getting out of bed until 10 o'clock, just on sheer principle that I haven't stayed in bed past like the 7:30, 8 o'clock range since Landon's been born. So I'm like, I'm staying in the bed past 10 o'clock to truly feel like I slept in, even though I wasn't sleeping. I was just on my phone looking stuff up, watching YouTube videos. But then we did go and get a couples massage, and after that just picked up Landon, got some takeout, had a really low-key night at home, and it was really, really nice and relaxing. So that was definitely the best moment this week. Miss anything? No. Had champagne and red wine. Movement, I said this, she is such a mover in there and just beating me up. She could be a little boxer in there, I don't know. Anything making you queasy or sick? No. Labor signs. So I feel like, yeah, I've been having some contractions. I've definitely had a couple of moments where I'm just like, whoa, paralyzed, get down on my hands and knees. And just in general, I think my stomach feels so tight right now just because of her size too. It's really hard for me to tell, like, is this a Braxton Hicks? Is this, you know, my belly contracting, or is it just because everything is so tight? So I felt like I got to a point where it felt like a little softer and more jiggly, and now it just feels really, really full and tight again all of the time. And there's been some moments when I have been on the exercise bike working out because I'm still, again, trying to stay in really good shape for labor. I feel like that's what helped me tremendously last time with when I had Landon, and also with my recovery after Landon. So I've gotten off the bike though, because I've said like, whoa, wait, I think, you know, this is just too much right now. So I would never push myself. And just the cleaning, nesting, you know, that's a sign of, oh my gosh, I feel the urge, I need to do this before labor, despite even being so exhausted and having the worst night's sleep. I still feel like I want everything spotless and perfect. So nesting. I do find out though at this upcoming doctor's appointment I have this week, because now I will have them every single week until Presley comes, they are going to check to see if I'm showing any signs of dilation, or I don't feel like she's dropped or that she's engaged in my pelvis yet though, just because of, again, how harsh her movements are and how high she feels. But I guess they will tell me that as well at this upcoming appointment. Symptoms. The heartburn is still really bad. Definitely running to the bathroom a ton to pee. It is just, there's no room for anything besides baby in there at this point, whether it's food or liquid. I do just feel like everything just feels, again, sore. I feel like I've been beat up from the inside is really what it feels like this week. And so exhausted, not wanting to lay down. I also had a weird, like, swollen eye, and I feel like I've also noticed a bit more blurred vision when I've been on the computer screen for a long time. That could just be out of tiredness, because the pregnancy insomnia, again, has like been off the charts. Like, I'm just not sleeping well whatsoever. And pregnancy brain is real. I feel like I'm really good at trying to take lists and stay organized and on top of things, but sometimes I will literally be in the middle of something and I feel like I just completely even forget like what it was that I was like in the middle of working on. The lightning crotch is horrible, horrible. Like, hurts so bad. I felt it multiple times while I've been cleaning, or sometimes while I'm like riding the exercise bike, and it's just awful. I've also felt like she's like scratching me from the insides. It's wild in there. It's like a jungle in there right now. Cravings. So I have been craving Milk Duds. Adam was really kind. He went out and got me a box of Milk Duds the one night, and I haven't even finished it yet, but they're just like so good, a little bit at a time. I also one night really needed pasta with red sauce. Like, it had to be red sauce. So I made pasta with red tomato sauce and like some chicken and veggies. It was really good. I also still have been wanting peanut butter and apples really regularly. And actually, I'm gonna go make that as a snack when I'm done filming this. That sounds so good right now. Wedding rings on or off? They're still on. Belly button in or out? It is totally popped out. You'll see in the belly shot. Here is the 35-week belly shot. This is from the front. Side. She's like still so high in my rib cage. Here's the belly. Same. I'm like out of breath. Just doing this. Happy or moody most of the time. Again, I feel like I'm a Debs in this video, like so exhausted. But yeah, it's just been a rough work week. And even though the baby moon was so wonderful, it honestly was so needed. Like, had we not had that, I don't even know if I could have pulled myself out of the funk that I was in after just a crazy work week, and like just feeling really stressed and feeling really just sad. Maybe that's a symptom I should say too. I feel like I could cry at the drop of a hat. Like, things that normally wouldn't hurt me or make me feel bad are making me feel bad, and I just want to like cry all of the time. Maybe it's just because my hormones are obviously kicking into gear to get ready to have this baby, but I do feel like I could pretty much cry all of the time. And I even, guys, I started crying in Beauty and the Beast when like Chip and his mom turned into humans again at the end. Like, I started crying. Like, it is just, the hormones are wackadoodle right now. But tomorrow is another day, and with every day that passes, we are closer and closer to meeting our Presley Jane. I cannot wait to hold her. I'm also cannot wait until she maybe drops a little bit. I've been reading in some of my pregnancy books, around the 36 to 37 week mark is when they can drop. So I'm just hoping you drop, Presley. Please just let her drop. Let me just breathe again and let my ribs not feel like they're punched from the inside every day. But please make sure, if you're not already following me on Instagram or Snapchat, that you're following me so that you know when she arrives. And also, I would love to hear from you in the comments if there are any videos that are like a pregnancy or like something I would have to make before Presley comes. What are those videos you'd like to see? And then what videos would you like to see after Presley comes? Because I'm trying to be organized and think in my head, as prepared as I can be, about what sort of videos and content to produce for you guys over the coming months with all of the changes. This makes me so happy to sit down actually and do these videos and talk to you and make these connections with others out there around the world. It's been really cool reading in the comments that there's folks from South Africa, Australia, the Netherlands, all over the United States, Canada, Mexico, the Bahamas. It's really cool knowing that there's viewers all over the place. So love making these videos for you guys, and would love to know what videos you would like to see either before Presley comes or after Presley's arrival, what videos you'd like to see too. All right, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that I am just low on energy and having some difficulty breathing at the moment, but this too shall pass, and it's all for the best reason on the planet, and that's that a little girl is going to be joining our world soon. Praying for all of you others out there who've shared where you're at on your journeys with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.